Welcome to You, AI and Us, a podcast series from the University of Southampton, focusing on outstanding scientific work relating to AI. I'm Zoe Hanson, the podcast lady, and I'm now joined by Antonia Marcu. So British Science Festival is coming to Southampton in September. What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about?
So there are two aspects. One of them, as a participant in the British Science Festival, I'm very excited to just be around like-minded people, excited about their topic of interest, and just communicating that to ourselves, to broad audiences. I'm really keen to see what they have been up to in their research, so that is very exciting for me. Also, as a speaker, I am very excited to have the opportunity to engage with wide audiences and to give my perspective on a very timely topic. So yes, I'm quite excited from both perspectives.
And what will you be talking about at the festival?
I will be broadly talking about this tension between a sort of push for AI capabilities development and the concerns, the safety concerns that come with that push.
So first of all, the name. Heaven on Earth or Impending Doom, Grounding Perspectives on AI.
Right. So the idea of the lecture comes from a conversation that is very much present in the public sphere, which is that on the one hand, AI is actually has a lot of potential to solve many problems that humanity is facing. So in a sense, there's a lot of promise, because AI is a lot more than just chatbots, which is what most people think of when they hear AI. But actually, AI can be applied to so many different things. At the same time, there's a lot of investment and a lot of kind of drive to push AI capabilities and to develop AI tools as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. But that comes with the risk of the capabilities being used for non-humanitarian purposes, mm-hmm. or even when they are used for, let's say, human-aligned purposes, for them to fail. So in safety critical applications, they might fail, and that obviously is something that we want to be able to prevent. So there is this sort of tension, if you wish, between trying to push capabilities because there's a promise of if you wish, a better future for humanity, and a outright fear related to that accelerated pace of development. So I think the idea of my lecture is to try to bring a little bit a different perspective, a perspective of someone who is working on more fundamental aspects of machine learning and deep learning, which are kind of the powerhouse of AI, and to ground a little bit this very sometimes sensationalist discussion around AI.
Yeah, because we know that AI can enhance our lives, our workplace, our hospitals, our medical needs, all of those things. But there's this fear, I suppose, of it must be the unknown, and even when using a chatbot, a ChatGPT, a Claude or whatever, and then you ask them for an answer to a question, and then you say, is this true? And it says, no, I made it up. How do we balance it out? How do we get rid of those risks?
Right, so it's very interesting because you went from how do we get rid of that fear to how do we balance the risks.
Okay.
Which is very interesting because there are actually different perspectives in the discussion around AI safety. I like that you said something about the fear of the unknown, and I want to concretize that a little bit because my vision is that a lot of the concerns around AI safety fundamentally boil down to the fact that we don't have a very good theory, a very good solid understanding of what is really going on inside the models. So part of me says, I don't think we're at a point where we want to silence the fears. We want to very much listen to the fears and address them. And the second one, which was balancing the risks, my view about how we should balance the risks that come with developing more capable models, the way to address that is to actually develop very solid scientific tools for analyzing and understanding models and developing theories that can actually tell us more about what is going on. And that will implicitly help us manage risks, because we would, some of the risks will be addressed, others will be more manageable once we understand things better.
In your award lecture, you talk about people imagining AI systems as other people. Is that a problem? And if so, why is it a problem?
My personal view is that it is a problem for a number of reasons. One, because it is in a way deceiving, and it might give, if you wish, more authority to something that it's not actually designed to necessarily. I'm now talking about generic chatbots, because you might have specialist models that were trained in a very particular way and with a certain knowledge base, but more generic models are not necessarily trained to be an authority, and people sometimes treat them as such, and then take whatever the model output says as the truth, or as, for example, people use it for medical advice, and that obviously can sometimes go wrong. But the other risk with treating AI models as, or thinking of them as somehow equivalent to humans, or of the process that they use as equivalent to how humans solve tasks and process information, is that it can often lead to misunderstandings of what the model produces, what is going on inside it. So even from a more technical, theoretical perspective, even if you think about things from a scientific point of view, but you start with hypotheses relating to, oh, humans do things this way, therefore models must do things in a similar way, that often leads to kind of misleading conclusions. So that's very, we've seen that quite a lot in the literature. So it's something that I think we should be more aware of.
Okay, so don't humanize AI.
Yes, so try to try to understand a little bit more what is really going on, and start from there. Don't overimpose human level concepts.
What do you think it means to have the British Science Festival here in Southampton? What does it mean to the university? What does it mean to the wider community?
I think this is an excellent opportunity for Southampton as a city, as well as for the university, to welcome a large crowd and to showcase the research that is being done at Southampton. Specifically because we might be doing outward-facing events in isolation, different schools or faculties, but now this is an opportunity to showcase how everything comes together in concert, and all the amazing stuff that is going on.
And there is always so much going on
Yes.
At University of Southampton. You know, I constantly hear about them on the news, and your area of expertise, how does that play into British Science Festival? Where does it fit?
So it's very interesting because AI is such a hot topic now, it feels like a lot of other areas that you wouldn't necessarily in the past associate with AI now have sprinkles of AI everywhere. They're maybe using machine learning tools to understand something more about the patterns in their data. So it's quite interesting how it's slowly becoming a sort of central topic to at least be familiar with and understand at an intuitive level.
Thank you so much, Antonia. That's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you. And I'm joined by PhD student Damian.
Hello.
Now, Damian, how does it feel to go from being an AI research student and then be using it in quite a different, unusual way?
For the AI-themed improv project that we've got coming up.
Now, that's what I want to talk about, right? So tell us about the project, first of all.
Right, so this is as part of the AI Arts Festival that the University of Southampton is putting on in Winchester. A few of us have developed an improvised comedy show that is aimed at helping to show to the public some of the ways that AI can be used and some of the features of AI and its benefits, potentially, and maybe some of its failure modes. So it'll give everybody an opportunity to see a comparison between how humans do some tasks and how the AI does it, and then to think about whether they like that or not.
So how is this going to work then? You're going to write a show or improvise a show as humans, and then AI does it?
Almost the other way round. So the type of show we're doing is based on a concept called the Armando, in which normally you get a suggestion from the audience of a word, and then somebody steps forward from the cast and delivers a short, personal, true story that word has made them think of. And then everybody listens to the story, and once they've finished their short story, all of the improvisers do a series of scenes that are sort of inspired by things they said or the way they said them or things that happened during the story. And we're going to do this cycle of a story and then some scenes. And then we're going to do it again, but where the story is delivered by an AI, a large language model, instead of by a human being.
Okay.
And so people will get the chance to see what sort of story does a human tell, what sort of story does the AI tell, and did both of those provide equally good opportunities for the performers to come up with ideas.
And thinking about it now, how do you think, which way is this going to swing? Which way do you think people will respond to the most?
I think there will be, even though we're going to try and give the AI the best opportunity it can to do something interesting and unusual, I suspect that there will be that human connection to the fact that the improviser's monologue, the story they tell, is true and it's a real story for that human being, not just some funny thing that they've made up. I think there will be a connection there. That's normally what I feel when I'm seeing this type of show, even if the story is something very mundane about somebody's a visit to the sweet shop when they were 6 or whatever. There's just that moment of recognition. You go, yeah, I feel that. And I think that will be missing with the AI.
And I think there's something about, I suppose, live theatre. If an actor does something 3 nights in a row, sometimes you can feel that.
So I think for the performance itself, for the improvised part of it, the scenes that are being performed, of course, those are unique every single time.
Yeah.
So when you come and see an improvised performance, and if people have never seen improv before, for me, this is one of the things I really like about it, is that it is all created there in the moment, and you're getting to see different levels of performance, because you're seeing the funny little skit that somebody's putting on, but you're also seeing people figuring out how to do the skit in real time. So you're seeing the creative process, which is a special and unusual thing to witness.
How do you think AI can enhance the community? Where can it be used? Why are we testing something like improv with AI?
I think there will be potential benefits, I think, for situations where either you don't have somebody in your group who's confident to give that initial talk, because that takes a certain amount of bravery to step forwards and just deliver a speech all on your own, and also possibly for different ideas to be represented. So that's mainly the focus we're going to look at, is can we have the AI pretend to be somebody who isn't in the room? Somebody who we couldn't provide their true story. So it's a sort of made up true story for a person that the AI has imagined could have existed.
Okay.
And so there might be an opportunity there, because the AI has been trained on so much data from around the whole world, for it to be able to represent ideas that maybe just wouldn't otherwise have come out from the small collection of humans on the stage.
I suppose sending that idea on again, how can that be used in our community, in our world right now?
So I think this specific example, I'm not sure that there is much in that for the general community. And as a society, I think we're still going to be feeling around a bit to work out what we want to do with these types of AI that are generative, that can create images or text or whatever. There are engineering applications for sure. I know people are playing around with them for therapy, which is frankly a rather terrifying idea to me. And I think we're going to be exploring that together as a group of humans for quite some time to come.
Here's a question for you though, Damian.
Sure.
Can AI be funny?
Sometimes, yes. So I've seen some examples of this, but often not necessarily in an intentional way. So one of the things I played with was I tried to get it to pretend to be somebody from a different culture, not represented on not European culture, I guess, and to give its little story prompted by the word cheeseburger. And the story it gave was very bizarre, because it was as if the AI didn't really know what a cheeseburger was beyond being a food item, and it gave a peculiar story about somebody working in a warehouse and then finding a delicious cheeseburger and chomping into it, which is funny but kind of for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So it can be, but more so far it's tending to be funny odd rather than funny ha-ha.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for all of that, Damian. It sounds absolutely fascinating.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for listening to You, AI and Us from the University of Southampton.